Hey, what's up, guys? I'm back. I don't know why, but I don't see the point of adding that type of noise or exhaust to those vehicles. It's disturbing. It's not even like something you can appreciate. But anyway, that's just my opinion. So we're going to use the karma cards today for the Lionsgate portal. Let's see what we've got here for the energies. We've got third house energy, Gemini energy, communication, electronically, verbally, anything that involves communicating. There could be a phone call coming in, an important phone call or something, a message here. Okay, you guys could be seeing feathers. If you guys see any feathers, that's signs that you're receiving communication, maybe even from your ancestors. Now for the third house, remember the karma cards have the action and the outcome, right? So spiritual, mental, and physical. Spiritual, mental, and physical. So it says for the action, right? Spiritual action by making the right connections. Mental, the idea in question. Physical, get your ideas going, right? So by making the right connections spiritually, the outcome is your ideas, your spiritual ideas, the thoughts you have, the creativity that comes to mind, right? I feel like a lot of you who are spiritually inclined, you guys definitely receive communication, possibly even like Akashic records or like deep information, right? When it comes to this spiritually from your guides, your ancestors, who, a lot of us communicate with God. I mean, there's other, people you can, not people, but spiritual beings that you can communicate with, depending on your gifts and how open you are and how well you can receive this information. But anyway, mind that not everybody understands that, right? So spiritually, I feel like you guys are making, or by making the right connections, tapping into that clear state of mind to be able to receive your ideas that you're trying to bring about the outcome of your ideas, right? And it doesn't have to be spiritually, but this is the spiritual part of it. The action would be by making the right connections in order to get the outcome of your ideas. 334 on the countdown, as I said that. And then we had 336 when I looked back up. So mentally, this is about the idea in question. What is the idea in question here? Well, that could be your ideas that you're trying to create, that you're trying to make happen. And you do this by being able to collaborate with people outside of you, right? This is quick thinking, quick travel. You guys might even have to travel. If you can't travel, you might be attending a Zoom meeting, something like that, right? Where it has to do with communication. So this is about the idea in question. Mentally, this is your action, right? Mentally thinking about the idea in question, how you're going to bring this idea to come to be, right? How, and this is through making the right connections, right? We already understand that. Now, mentally, this is about the idea in question that you're thinking about, that you're trying to create, that you're trying to produce, that you're trying to collaborate. In order to mentally get that short-term thinking and trips, right? So some of you may be doing this, trying to get creative, trying to maybe find other ways of income, not necessarily income, but whatever it is. This is in regards to short thinking and trips, right? Short-term thinking and trips. 505 on the countdown. So this could be a change of a mindset. Okay, maybe if something isn't working for you that you've tried a couple times, maybe now you got to kind of think quick and figure out, okay, if that wasn't working, how can I make it work now? What can I change, right? How can I direct this? So this is all about the idea in question that you're trying to bring about. This is by making the right connections. So maybe you're already making the right connections, but you're not seeing the outcome of your ideas quite produce. This is because maybe you have to consider the idea in question, right? Where is it that you're trying to get it to take you? Is this short term? Is this long term? Is this going to require travel, right? Those things. Think about that. Process all that. Now, physically, this is about being able to get your ideas going, right? So this is all about your creativity, your communication, your ideas, your speaking to people, collaborating with people, working with people, right? In order to get this going. This is outside of you. This is friends, family, right? Anything outside of your home, your immediate. Now, how do you get your ideas going physically? Well, this is based on who or what is around you, right? So if you really think about it, based on who you're out there mingling with, hanging with, conversing with, interacting with, working with, collaborating with, brainstorming with, that's going to be based on how you're able to get your ideas going. Okay, so again, maybe this is the idea in question that you're needing to focus on. Who or what is around me? Is this working for me? Okay, perhaps it worked for me in the past, but maybe now that I look at it, it's not working for me. It's kind of just, I'm still having to brainstorm and I'm not coming up with anything. I'm not seeing the production. So maybe something here needs to change, shift, right? Maybe something here needs to give a little more. Maybe there's something here that you still have to question in order to be able to get these ideas going that you're trying to get, that you're trying to make work somehow here. Maybe this is based on who or what is around you. Maybe that is what you're needing to question. Maybe that is the idea that you're needing to think about first, process, analyze, right? This is all about thoughts, quick thinking, communication. This is like brainstorming type of energy. So that's what I'm getting here, guys, okay? Bottom of the deck, we've got Mars energy. So fire energy with air energy. These two energies are very quick, right? Mars is all about action. So it's like acting on these things that you're trying to create, that you're trying to question, that you're trying to brainstorm, that you're trying to bring about, right? Action needs to be backed up behind it with Mars. Now, Mars speaks on being able to energize, right? Confront, force yourself to find the drive for the confronting of action. So maybe, that's something that most of us are lacking, is being able to communicate properly, being able to brainstorm, being able to work together, collaborate, get other ideas from other people and try to, figure out how are we going to go about this action, right? How are we gonna, and maybe some of you are even feeling like you have to force yourselves to do this. Maybe you don't like the people you're working with, or maybe you don't like the ideas these people are trying to bring to the table, because maybe some of you feel like it's just gonna bring more conflict. Mars energy, right? Fiery passion, but the downfalls to that is anger and things like that, impulsiveness, right? So those are things you're gonna have to consider and really think about and really try to figure out and brainstorm. And maybe this has to happen quick, right? Maybe you guys are on a time limit, maybe you're not, but maybe you're wanting to do this quick, easy, short, and not prolong it, let's just say. Okay, so if I put these together here, the Mars and the third house, because in this deck, you know, the planets come first, then it's the zodiacs, then it's the houses. The houses is your environment, right? Third house would be like your neighborhood, your family, your friends, people outside of your immediate, which would be your home base. Your fourth house, your foundation. This is siblings, cousins, friends, right? People outside of that. People that you work with, talk to, converse with, meet, right? Those type of things. Now, with that being said, that's your environment. Friends, family, people you're working with, collaborating with, you know, and these are people that just come in quick, can leave quick, that you're here to do something really brief or get an idea, work together, and, you know, keep it moving, that type of stuff. With Mars here as the planet, again, this could, right? Mars rules war in the darker aspect of it, right? The lower vibrational of it, anger, impulsivity, right? Without thinking. But here, this is thinking, third house, Gemini. Quick thinking, yes, but it's thinking, right? So it's thinking before you communicate, with quick action or angry action and things like that, right? Some of you may feel like either somebody is trying to confront you, or you're trying to confront somebody, or needing to, right? But this is not impulsively. I'm getting here. You have to think. You have to process this. You can't let your anger or your emotions get the best of you. This is also about being able to energize yourself. And how do you energize? It's energy, right? Let's get into it a little bit. Energy, right? How do you base your energy? 12-12. Based on the people that are around you. We pick up on that energy because that's how energy works. Now, somebody could be telling you, oh, we're your friend, but you're getting an uneasy feeling, and that's because you're picking up on that energy of the people around you. So there's that also, right? If you start feeling drained, these are things that you need to pay attention to here with the Gemini energy. You need to think about these things. You need to understand these things. Get a bigger understanding of these things. If you guys are feeling energized and uppity and, oh, I had a okay, let that tell you something. That's a good connection. That's someone you can create with. That's someone you can spend time with. You can mingle. You can collaborate. You can converse with. Why? Because it's an uplifting energy. You guys vibe together. You feed off each other's energy in a positive way. It's like a battery. But if you're around people and you get this creative idea all on your own, then you go to these people, you share this idea, and you get creative and you try to see if they can add to that, or, you know, bounce off that good energy, and instead you start feeling drained. Like now all of a sudden you don't have energy. Now all of a sudden you can't even put energy into that creative idea that you came up with, and you brought it up to these people, you mentioned it to these people, you talked about it, and then they kind of acted like they were, you know, supportive, but not really. Okay, now your energy is drained. Now you don't even know how to think, so you're acting impulsively because you didn't feel the positive energy or the positive vibration. So now you're kind of irritable and all that stuff with Mars energy. So now you're feeling like you got to confront these people about the idea that you brought up, right? That you were hoping they were going to bounce off that positive energy and kind of motivate you, uplift you. Mars energy, right? The positive side. And now you're like, I bring this idea to you guys, and now you're making me, I'm not feeling what I was feeling when I first came up with it, and was coming towards you guys to, you know, talk about it, converse to how we're going to do this. So that's now the idea in question. Now you're feeling like you got to confront the situation. right? Now, first you wanted to find the drive for, right, to energize this, and you did this by making the right connection, supposedly you in your mind and your thought and your actions, right? And maybe that was not the freaking reaction that you got or anything like that, or that you expected. And that's why we shouldn't expect things, right? We shouldn't expect things, because that's when, you know, you feel like people let you down. Not necessarily that they did, but that those are the feelings, right? Those are the thoughts that start coming in here. Now, so now you're feeling you got to confront the idea in question in order to, you know, see the confronting of short-term thinking and trips, right? So this is so you guys can start brainstorming. But I don't feel that if you approach it in an angry state, I almost said vulnerable, in an angry, vulnerable state, right? Because maybe perhaps, like I said, you came to this individual with a bright idea, a solution, whatever, right? That you're trying to think about, you're trying to create here. You're trying to take action, think about, and create and work together, right? So you might have not got the reaction or, you know, the information, because this could also be information that you were hoping for. But again, so that now has you a little irritable, a little impulsive, you know, not really thinking, but rather just acting on that impulse of that uncomfortability, that drainage, whatever energy that was either not given to you, drained from you, or whatever, right, have you. Let's just look at this from the lower aspect. That I feel like is not gonna work. All it's gonna do is it's gonna set something on fire. It's gonna carry it off, that fire, with that quick Gemini air energy, right? And it's gonna set shit like even worse. And that's what we don't want, right? The whole thing is to be able to collaborate, work together, brainstorm together, and see what can happen here in a positive aspect, which means provide you the energy by making the right connections in order to find the drive for your ideas, right? 1707 on the countdown. Being able to confront the idea in question now, when you give it some thought, when you give it some time on a higher vibrational, this is going to energize you to be able to confront the idea in question, but with the ability of the confronting of short-term thinking and trips, meaning, okay, we're going to find a solution. We're going to try this quick solution, see how that works, and things like that. We're going to be, you know, we're going to give it a time span. It's not going to be long, but we're going to try to work with it. And so, you know, this is trying out. This is the positive aspect of that, right? So there's other ways, but first you got to process that. You got to figure it out. You got to try to think. You got to try to brainstorm real quick. How are we going to do this? How are we going to approach this without having to blow up the situation or burn bridges or whatever, okay? How are we going to motivate this in a positive aspect where we can try to see if, let's try it. And if it works, then we'll keep at it. If it doesn't, then we'll just let that bridge burn, right? So there's that too. Those are the energies I'm picking up, which is two different energies. But you know which side of which energy you're on. You could be on the lower aspect, you could be on the higher aspect, the positive or the negative, right? Now, depending where you're sitting at, what I am saying here, you can transform it. So if you're sitting on the lower aspect of it, right? You're feeling drained, you're feeling like confronting people and all this. Okay, transmute it. That's what this reading is for, to transmute it, right? 8-8 portal, you know, the 8, it's like this. It's like the infinity sign, right? It's like the alchemizing. Okay, so I'm up 1 minute. I know that down is meant to come. But then also, okay, so I'm down. I know that up is only from here, right? 1909 on the countdown, as I said that. So again, learning how to work with the energies, balance the energies, alchemize the energies, rather than, because you can burn this real quick and it'll just be like mass, right? It'll be like a neighborhood type of thing, right? So let's just think about it that way. Now, For the physical, force yourself to, right? Some of you may feel like you have to force yourself to get your ideas going, and some of you need to force yourself to get your ideas going. Maybe some of you are being a little lazy, like I mentioned. Maybe, you're just procrastinating or taking your time, or somebody here feels like they gotta force themselves to, or force yourself to get your ideas going. And this is in order to see some type of action physically. This is the physical part. This is to see some type of action, right? In regards to what, who or what is around you. This is people, places, things where you are hanging out. You're needing to think about, is this draining me when I come over here to this place, to this club, to this bar? Do I feel better? Do I make good connections? Do I interact with people? Or do I just meet people that are impulsive, that then are going to drain my energy? They're not going to give me creative ideas. They're going to give me negative ideas, negative perceptions. Is this going to last a long time or a short time, right? Gemini energy usually is short term thinking and short-term trips. Now, it doesn't have to be, but usually, right, in that case. So let's just think about it that way. Now, others of you really need to force yourself to get your ideas going in order to see action in regards to who or what is around you. Maybe 2111, maybe the people that you're trying to come and brainstorm and work with and bring your ideas to and make the right connections, maybe they're not going with your flow. Maybe they're not feeding into that spark, that creative idea that you have. Why? Because maybe you still need to put in a little more action behind it. Okay, something like that. So take it how it resonates. And maybe this is what's making you irritable, right? Right? That you feel like, oh, I'm putting the action, well, maybe there's something that they're hoping you do that will motivate them more, right? Or motivate you more. You take it how it resonates. I'm just reading the energy, okay? For the 888 portal. We're going to tap into the Queen of the Moon Oracle. Some of you, doesn't have to be, right? Some of you could be a Gemini. Some of you could be an Aries or a Scorpio, okay, because of the Mars in the 3rd house. Doesn't have to be. You could be just dealing with someone like this, or these type of people, that you're trying to get your ideas going. So take it how it resonates. We've got sovereignty. So yeah, using your sovereignty, right? Being sovereign, divine feminine energy. 41 here could be significant. Number 5, this is changes in your sovereignty. You could be a divine feminine. You could just be in your feminine energy and you are receiving clear downloads, clear communication, clear information. Some of you are even like receiving Akashic information. That's awesome. Yeah, look, with discernment at the bottom of the deck, this is like, wow. 10 here. So 5, 10. This is like ascending, right? This is like quantum leaping, jumping timelines, right? You go from the 5 to the 10. So this is quick progression, and we know it's quick because of the Gemini energy, the air energy, and then the Mars energy. We know those energies, fire energy, air energy, those are quick. With discernment here, I literally feel like you guys have clear communication when it comes to communicating with the universe, you know, Christ, your God, whoever you believe in, right? Everybody has their own beliefs, and that's your business. But I feel like the universe has your back. When you think, you guys could even create or manifest with your thoughts, right? Through writing, talking, thinking here. And some of you through action. And some of you, this is how you manifest, right? Through writing, communication, thinking, traveling, your sovereignty, right? The mind. And this is what helps the universe, right? Because in this card, I feel like it's the universe. And do you see? It's all in her mind. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. And it doesn't have to be a she, right? You could be a man in your feminine energy, exploring that energy, getting to know that energy within you, because we all embody it. Now, this is the discernment that you're receiving. This action brings that discernment. It helps the universe discern, okay, this is what you're trying to act on. This is what you're trying to create initially. This is what you're trying to work on. This is what you're trying to manifest, or whatever have you, whatever terminology you want to use, right? But that's definitely what I'm getting here. And this is the 8-8 portal, so it's the Lionsgate portal. Now we're gonna tap into the Angel Wisdom Tarot. I just got that some of you could be just like you guys need to slow down. Maybe you guys are just doing a lot, or just like with the air and the Mars energy, the 3rd house energy and the Mars. (27-22) on the countdown. All right, Spirit, what do we have? 3rd house, sovereignty. We've got the Page of Water, guys. So again, I feel like you guys are very intuitive. So it says here, sensitive, open-hearted, inexperienced, moody messages regarding relationships, new emotional experiences, a romantic encounter, social invitations, or events, heightened psychic abilities. So let me tell you what I'm getting from this card. You guys are very sensitive right now. Absolutely. You guys are very open-hearted individuals, but you also have that inexperienced energy, 2808. You could be receiving or sending out moody messages regarding relationships here, okay? Like I said, there's that Mars energy, and if we look at both sides, we know there's, you know, a good and a bad. There's pros and cons to the situation. It also speaks about new emotional experiences. So some of you could be entering a new emotional experience here. You could be feeling a lot of passion towards somebody. You could be texting, right? These moody messages. Like you could be getting 2844. You could be getting to know someone, and then all of a sudden it's like you guys start getting on each other's nerves, you know, and you start getting moody, or they start getting moody. Okay, this could be, again, that new emotional experience, or simply a romantic encounter. This also could involve social invitations, right? Going, meetings, gathering, going and hanging out with people, right? We talked about that in the beginning. But also your psychic abilities. What did I say? You guys are very connected to the divine, right? Using your sovereignty, your thinking, And that's when it gives the universe the permission to act with discernment and say, okay, so we know now what you're thinking. We know what you're trying to create. We're going to back you up on that. We're going to start setting things in motion, right? So just be weary of your moodiness is definitely what I'm getting here. Bottom of the deck, we got the Star. Healing. This is collectively more air energy, Aquarius energy. This could be Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer energy. Doesn't have to be. I'm just, this is what I'm seeing. So, like I said, some of you could be divine feminines and you could be like healers. You guys could have a platform. It doesn't matter, whatever it is. If things seem a little cloudy at this time, just use your discernment. You have your discernment. Act on your discernment. Start creating, start healing, start detaching if you need to. Yeah, I just saw the 8 of Cups at the bottom of the Star. On the Star card, it reads, have faith, the future is bright. Dreams come true. Positive changes that bring an end to challenging times. The light at the end of the tunnel. So again, use your discernment. Have faith in the future is bright. Dreams do come true. And remaining in that positive energy, 3123 as I looked at the countdown. When you guys see this in a positive light, you start, 3137, you start realizing that those challenging times, they're over. It's really a mindset. 3144 when I looked up. Now, this is the light at the end of the tunnel. So maybe you've been working hard, right, on something, trying to, put the appropriate action, determination, skills to this, trying to work, compromise, whatever it is. There's the light at the end of the tunnel, having faith that the light at the end of the tunnel is coming, right? Now let's go ahead and close it with angel answers. So if you want to take the time to think of your question, and we're going to see here. So I do see that you guys are healing a lot here, which is giving you the power of discernment here, which allows you to take action in a situation. Okay, so we've got peaceful resolution, 3322 on the countdown, confirmation for some of you. Whatever you asked about, your angels see a peaceful resolution here. Look at that, 3335 on the countdown, big happy changes. These are very good cards, guys, to come out. So for your questions, there's a peaceful resolution and big happy changes. And we know the changes are here because we see the 5, right? Bottom of the deck. The situation will improve. So there will be healing here, and the situation will improve in regards to your questions. I say questions because this is a collective reading. 34, 31 on the countdown. And that's what I have for you guys for the 888 portal. Okay, guys? I hope this helps. Have a good one.